Alrighty guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at the Shrine again, and I can tell you this week's Shrine is actually pretty good, if I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of good teachables on it. However, 3 perks are non-DLC, so you can get them naturally, while 1 perk is a DLC from Michael Myers. Let's get straight into it. First perk is called Nurse's Calling. What does Nurse's Calling do? While there is an injured survivor, and they are being healed or healing, their aura will be revealed to you within 20, 24, and 28 meters. What does this mean? This means they'll be glowing bright pink, and you're going to be able to see them through walls. It doesn't matter the length of your heartbeat. For example, if you're a ghost face while stalking or stealth, you do not have a heartbeat at all, so you can have a 0 meter heartbeat while seeing people through walls through 28 meters. It's pretty good, I'm not going to lie. If somebody's being healed, you can generally tell there's a player nearby as well, so you can also see if a slug is being healed on the ground if you're not paying attention to the bottom left-hand side of the map. In terms of the bar will be pulsating when somebody's being healed or being picked up by the killer. Little trick you'll learn the more you play Dead by Daylight. Is Nurse's Calling good? It is, but I think it's outweighed by perks. For example, things that'll stall the game and hold the game for you in favor. If you injure a target and he's going to run away and heal, let him do it while you apply pressure towards your other objectives. It just depends on the situation, the scenario, and a lot of the really strong killers that have instant downs, you don't generally need this perk because you'll just be down with everyone in one hit anyway, so you're not even going to worry about it, and then going from objective to objective, such as the Billy. You can use it on the Billy though, don't get me wrong. Is it a good perk? I'd give it about a 7 or an 8 out of 10. Realistically, I'm giving it a high rating based on the fact that it's a free perk. You can get it from leveling up the nurse as well, so keep these kind of things in mind at level 40, so anyone can get their hands on it. Pretty cool perk based on those conditions. Now, the next perk is called Play With Your Food. Play With Your Food is one of the, if not the strongest perk in the game for a killer when you get it ramped up. By ramped up, I mean a stack or 2, or even possibly 3, depending on the situation. You should never try and overstack Play With Your Food. You should walk around with 1 stack, 2 tops, never go for 3 unless you have a guy dead, a guy on the ground, a guy on the hook, these kind of things. Then you can actually try and apply pressure towards the stacks. What does it mean? When you enter chase with your obsession, when you exit chase with the obsession and they do not go into dying state by ending chase, you will receive 3, 4, and 5% movement speed based on whether you have the perk tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3. Keeping this in mind, your lunge is based off 115% movement speed for a lot of killers. If you look at Legion, his lunge is based off obviously his dash ability when he is Feral Frenzy. So you can actually tell that when somebody has Play With Your Food, if they lunge and they miss, they lose a stack. If they lunge and they hit, they they keep the stack that they had. If your obsession is person you're chasing and you currently have 1 stack of Play With Your Food, if you M1 your obsession, you'll lose the stack, and then if he breaks line of sight, you'll regain the stack. It works hand in hand with a perk called Nemesis. I've done a lot of educational informative content on Nemesis Play With Your Food combo, and you guys should definitely check it out if you want to learn a lot more about this perk. It is one of the best perks in the game when you understand how to use it. For example, moonwalking while tracing scratch marks to be able to build up a stack of Play With Your Food to then apply pressure towards somebody else, or get another pallet out of the way to reset your Nemesis to break the pallet and then rotate elsewhere. Like, understanding the map will make this perk phenomenally better. If you don't understand 5%, it is such a lot of movement speed. A lot of really good survivors base themselves off looping what the killer's default is at 115 or lower. So when you ramp it up to 120, you'll catch a lot of good players off guard. I'd probably give the perk a 9 out of 10 if you know how to use it. If you don't know how to use it, I'd give it about a 5 out of 10. But then again, there's only one way to get better with it, and that's practice. The next perk is Servitor. Servitor is a great perk. It's a Jake Park teachable at level 40. Also a non-DLC survivor. Keeping in mind, he'll also come with Iron Will at 30 and Calm Spirits at 35. This will basically allow you to sabotage your hook in 2.5 seconds with a 90-second cooldown all the way down to, I believe, a 60-second cooldown. Hooks respawn every 30 seconds. Do keep that in mind too. It is very good for you to build up blood points in a trial. If the killer is chasing somebody else and you're doing a gen and there's a hook nearby, you can just sever the hook in 2.5 seconds for 500 boldness points. There are other ways to use it, of course. If you do not do the full animation and you start severing for 2 seconds out of the 2.5 and let go, the ability will go on cooldown as well. Great perk if you know how to use it and if you can time the hook. So if you're going to drop a hook as the killer's coming over and he's going to misposition himself so he can't get your teammate to a different hook. Next perk we've got is Streetwise. Streetwise is a teachable unlocked by Nia at level 40 again. You'll notice we have a 40 teachable, a 40 teachable, a 40 teachable, and a 40 teachable. This is actually a pretty not great perk anymore based on the fact it's 15, 20, and 25%. So when you're using an item, the consumption rate is lowered, much like running instructions or jelly on a map or a toolbox, those kind of things. It basically hinders how much charge you use per second with no it's like a throttle, for lack of a better word. If you're going to consume 1 charge per second, instead you'll consume 0.7 charge per second, so you can use your item for longer. If you run Streetwise, it will stack with something like instructions, but you could run Streetwise, Wire Spool, and Socket Swivel for more charges and faster repair speed by 5%. So you can make it work. It can end up being like having 3 add-ons, don't get me wrong. Is it a great perk? I wouldn't say so, no. I'd give it a pretty low rating of about 4 out of 10. So realistically, on this week's Shrine, I would purchase, if anything, Play With Your Food. It is very hard to use and hard to understand and hard to utilize, and you are required to find your obsession. So if you're new to the game, it probably wouldn't be a good investment for you. You're better off holding onto your shards. But all in all, guys, these perks can come naturally. This will give you good understanding and tracking. If you're brand new to Killer and you've been playing Survivor and you have enough shards and you don't want to level the nurse because people are telling you she's too hard and you want to play somebody else, if you get this teachable Nurse's Calling and it's your first teachable, you'll be able to get it on any of the other killers you play. It's going to be good for your tracking and your movement to understand how Survivors think. But when you become more adapt to the gameplay, you're going to be able to hear a Survivor cry about 12, 13 meters away, tell if they're running, walking, if they're male, if they're female, if they're on wooden floorboards, dirt, pavement, cement, concrete, snow, getting in, out of locker, inhaling, exhaling. You'll be able to understand all these sounds with time, and then you'll kind of drift away from the perk. It can be cute though, don't get me wrong. Anyways, guys, that's going to be all for this week's Shrine. We're going to be back doing some more educational content in no time. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you guys are staying safe as well. So be awesome, guys. Thank you all for watching, and make sure you hit that subscribe button for more educational Survivor and Killer content, much like this, guys. Thank you all for watching, and pop into the live streams over here at Twitch, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.